Every little piece we pick up is one less somebody else has to, right? Hands and feet of Christ.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Todd Rossnagel, Director of Communications for the Louisiana Conference. Welcome in. It is Saturday, September 12th, and we are coming on the air with news of a Workday that will be happening a week from today in the DeRidder area. So again, that's a week from today in the DeRidder area. No registration is required. The only thing that they ask is that you bring your hands and feet of Christ, maybe bring some water and a sack lunch. This is very similar to the Workday we had over the Labor Day weekend. This one will be happening in the DeRidder area. You have to be 18 years of age and older. And joining us this afternoon to talk more about this is the director, the District Disaster Coordinator, Scott Spalding, and he joins us now from the Shreveport area. Scott, thank you so much for carving time out of your day to talk to us about this important Workday. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and thank you for your willingness to help in Southwest Louisiana. Just specifically for people who may not know where the DeRidder area is, it is north of Lake Charles, and we were talking before we did this interview. This is an area that, even though it's north of Lake Charles, still has severe damage. Correct?
It does. There are a lot of trees down, homes that need to be tarped. It was hit pretty hard by the hurricane.
In fact, almost 70 homes in the Shreveport area received damage from this storm. It really, it's not just a storm that affected Lake Charles. This is a storm that has truly affected Louisiana. So, Scott, for the folks at home, as they make their way to DeRidder, tell the folks at home what this Workday is going to look like.
Okay, we're going to meet at the Wesley Church there on North Texas Street in DeRidder about 8:30 in the morning. We'll meet, circle up, of course, pray, and then we'll hand out job assignments and send everybody on their way to do their work.
And again, no registration is required. You just have to be over the age of 18. Don't forget to bring water, some snacks, and a lot more water. Scott, for the folks at home who may be volunteering and may say to themselves, I don't know how to start a chainsaw. I'm not the best construction person in the world. What do you say to the people who may fall into that category? Is there still a job for them?
There's a job for everybody. There's something that everybody can do. You don't have to be an expert with a chainsaw. Matter of fact, we ask that you not touch the chainsaw unless you are an expert with it. But there's debris to pick up, limbs, branches, things like that. We'll be tarping roofs, and you don't have to get on the roof. You could be a spotter on the ladder, by the ladder there, just to make sure that they get up on the roof okay. There's plenty of jobs. There's also someone is needed to be a spiritual person to talk with the homeowner and just visit with them while the work is going on.
Scott, I wanted to show the folks at home a video that we did, that we produced over Labor Day. This is a video that was produced at Maplewood United Methodist Church in Sulphur. Let's just give folks at home a taste of what it's like to volunteer at some of these Workday sites.
Every little piece we pick up is one less somebody else has to, right? Hands and feet of Christ.
Amazing to see the number of churches, number of pastors even, that are here that, have experienced their own damage and their own destruction, saying, you know what, we need to come rally together and work together. And so for me, that's been the most exciting part, is how all of us from across the country, we've got folks from Georgia, from Texas, from everywhere, North Carolina, coming in to really support us in this time, which just means so much.
And they all brought something between hands, water, equipment, and a willingness, the connection. If you ever doubt the connection, you just show up in this chaos and it's here.
We're here because you asked. We're here being the hands and feet of God. We're here because we're asked to serve. We're called to serve. And you've been to us. You've come to us many times and helped us with hurricanes and flooding events. it's only time for us to come and help you also. It changes you. It sets into motion that there are people out there who care. Even these hard times we have with COVID and all the unrest that is happening now, there's a deeper meaning, there's a deeper answer. And they showed that in their spirit in showing up at my house. I just got to give it back. I do whatever I can to help you.
Scott, as you saw in that video, I love that quote, by the way, from Al Miller from the North Carolina conference. So many annual conferences from across the country are in Southwest Louisiana helping. But that quote from Al Miller really stuck with me, saying that this work changes you. You have been doing this work for 8 years now, and even longer prior to that, but you've been in your role as a district disaster coordinator for 8 years. Does this work change you?
It does. You really get involved. You feel the people. You feel what they feel during a disaster like this. You help with the cleanup. Just like the other day, we were working on some houses, and when we got through, it was hot. Everybody was wore out. And I had several people thank me for allowing them to come and do this work. It is work that once you do it, you get hooked on it. I'm hooked on it. I love to go to places like this and help people and be the feet and hands of God and just do the work that needs to be done.
Scott, you've been doing this, as we said, for 8 years now. How bad is the recovery effort from Hurricane Laura?
There's a lot of work that needs to be done. This is something that's not going to be done overnight. It's going to take several months to do all of this. And then, of course, once the cleanup is done, there's going to be the rebuilding and things like that. But it's something that we need a lot of people to get involved in. And once you do get involved in it and you get there, you do some of the work, you'll be back. You'll be back. You'll love it.
Absolutely. So we encourage you to head to our website, la-umc.org. The main page there has a link to more information. Again, this workday is going to be Saturday at 8:30 in DeRidder. So please make sure to make an effort. You don't have to register. You just have to show up. Anyone over the age of 18, they will find a job for you there in DeRidder. Scott Spalding, the district disaster coordinator, will put you to work. And Scott, we thank you so very much, not only for carving time out of your day to talk to us today, but we thank you for your commitment to the Louisiana Conference and to being the hands and feet of Christ to those in need in Louisiana. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a blessing to me.
And one more thing before we say goodbye. This TD19, Tropical Depression 19. It is expected to become a tropical storm over the Gulf of Mexico tonight, according to the National Hurricane Center. Maximum sustained winds right now are just 35 miles an hour, but those are expected to increase once the storm hits the Gulf. And it is also expected to produce heavy rainfall of 3 to 6 inches through Tuesday, with localized flooding throughout southeast Louisiana. The good news with this storm, it's not likely at this point to become anything stronger than a tropical storm. The bad news, well, it's going to affect a portion of the state that hasn't been affected yet by a storm. And perhaps the thing that stood out to me the most in the advisory, slow-moving storm. You never want to read slow-moving before a tropical storm. Remember, the floods of 2016 weren't even a tropical depression. It was the fact that a system stalled on top of us. But we shall see. In the meantime, we must always pray and prepare. Thanks for joining us, everyone.